Joy News at 6. The news is live on Joy 99.7 and hits 103.9 FM in Accra, in Kumasi on Love 99.5 FM on Facebook live stream, and over 30 affiliates across Ghana's 16 regions, including Radio Wa, ATL FM Cape Coast, KTU Radio Koforidua. Go digital on Spotify and the myjoyonline.com app. Coming up, pressure mounts on President Kwawu yet again to sack the finance minister as the nation enters new week amid fears the cedi may continue to be battered by the dollar.
The technical rigor to operate at that level, I don't think Ken is up to it. That's more than investment banking.
Our finance minister, who even though is a Christian, have failed miserably.
The technical rigor.
President Kwawu urges Ghanaians to have confidence in his ability to turn things around.
This too shall pass.
We'll also hear from the Ochehene, who has a message for those he says have been insulting the president. Also, 26-year-old woman dies in what neighbors say was the result of her toilet sinking into a pit dug under her house by illegal miners.
You know, this lady who died this morning, she's not beneficiary of the mining, but she has died.
And in business,
U.S. banking giant JP Morgan warns the probable debt restructuring of Ghana's debt would further weaken the Ghana cedi as it blames the Bank of Ghana for the free fall of the local currency. Details on the Joy Business Report.
And started from the bottom but now at the grand finale. The story of how Adisadel College made it to the finals of the NSMQ against all odds.
Expect a down ball. Very slow again. On a D-Day, we're going to ride on the Zebras back to Cape Coast.
We've got details. Thanks for choosing us. Joy News, independent, fearless and credible. The details now. Government is once again being urged to take drastic steps, including reshuffling its appointees to cut down on cost and restore confidence in the distressed economy. The finance minister continues to be mentioned as one person who must exit office. A minimum of 14 cedi 70 pesos is needed to get $1, and experts fear the situation could worsen this week. There's more in the following report.
We are not going to the IMF.
Mr. Foriata has been under pressure since government opted for an IMF program. He, however, continues to enjoy support from President Akufo-Addo.
What would be the basis? What is the rationale?
Economist Professor Godfred Bokpin and Dr. Theo Chiampo, however, say he lacks the capacity to continue to lead the negotiations with the IMF.
The technical rigor to operate at that level, I don't think Ken is up to it. That's more than investment banking.
To send the right signal, and we saw this week. The Prime Minister was given the sack. The Chancellor of the Exchequer, the Finance Minister, was also given the sack.
A view shared by some men of the pulpit. Kofi Odro is with the Alabasta International Ministry.
We cannot sit here when $1 is equal to 12 cedis. 12 cedis! Our finance minister, who even though is a Christian, have failed.
The nation enters a new week with the dollar trading for a minimum of 14 cedis. Sam Kranchiankra of the Royal House Chapel is concerned.
Ideal milk, which was 2 Ghana cedis, now 8, 7. How would a mother buy milk? Recently, the vice president arrested a city. I hear the dollar has broken jail.
Reverend Sam Kranchi Ankra ending that news desk report. Well, President Akufo-Addo is urging Ghanaians to have confidence in his ability to turn things around. He spoke at the St. Mark Anglican Church on Sunday as part of his tour of the Eastern region.
He encouraged me that I shouldn't despair and have faith in God that the challenges Ghanaians are experiencing now, God will make a way for us to pull through. Of importance is the need to have confidence in me.
This too shall pass.
Let's now hear from the Ochehene Osajefo Amwetia Oforipenin, who was also at the church. He has a message for those he says have been insulting the president.
We should stop. We should be appreciative. We should appreciate him for his efforts. We should protect him. As for the insult, it's for children of illiterates. If you are trained properly, you won't do that unless you're a witch.
Ochehene Osajafo Amwetia Oforipenin. Away from that story, a 26-year-old woman has died in what neighbors say was the result of her toilet sinking into a pit dug under her house by illegal miners at Odumase in the Asante Achim Central Municipality. The body of Gifty Manka was retrieved with an excavator early Sunday, sparking fears about the possible collapse of residential facilities in the town due to illegal mining. The incident reveals widespread mining activities within residential facilities in the community. Lava FM's Erastus Asari Donko was at the scene and reports.
What is supposed to be a natural activity turns out to be your death. This is what happened here today at Odumase in the Asante Achim Central Municipality. The lady in question, a young woman who lives in this house, was attending to nature's call. The entire structure in which she was doing her business collapsed in a heap, went down into what is supposed to be a mining pit.
Yeah, as a result of the galamsey, it's not about authority. And we have to speak the truth. And we need to stop it. But we cannot allow this galamsey to go on in our houses. You know, this lady who died this morning, she's not beneficiary of the mining, but she has died.
The sprawling Odumase Apeboso community is dotted with underground pits dug in homes, linking each other in what could be described as a hanging town. To the ordinary eye, this is a normal residential compound house. But inside it, we found deep pits laced with wooden steps that go several meters down. We were shown a number of such houses at Odumase. Residents are angry. Police sources say they've heard of the pits and mining in residential facilities, but cannot barge into private homes without a warrant.
Erastus Asari Donko with that report. Now, Dom Kwabinya MP Sarah Adwoa-Safo will know her fate this week when Parliament resumes from its 3-month recess. She's been absent for more than the constitutionally permitted days. The Privileges Committee has recommended she vacates her seat. Well, Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin will make that decision when the House reconvenes. Parliamentary correspondent Kwawu Asante looks ahead to the big issues Parliament will be dealing with when it returns on Tuesday.
Parliament went on break in July, a divided House on whether or not MP for Dom Kwabinya Sarah Adwoa-Safo should keep her seat.
Once they make a determination, it binds all of us. Parliament is not the majority leader, nor is it the minority leader.
Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin deferred the decision to October when the House resumes.
I need time to submit to this House a reasoned, written ruling.
Well, the time is due now, and with MPs returning from their constituencies on Tuesday, the Speaker's ruling is the most anticipated on the business agenda of the House. Parliament will also deal with a number of key issues at this meeting, including considering the 2023 budget and economic plan of government in the times of economic difficulties and hardship. For Joy News, Kwawu Asante.
Now to the NSMQ. They started from the bottom, but they are now here at the grand finale. Although Adisco is reigning Central Region champion, it was the underdog prior to its semi-final contest after winning with the lowest score of 31 to qualify to that stage. Opokuwari School also came with a talismanic super sub capable of changing the direction of the quiz in the last 2 rounds. But all of that did not matter as Adisco triumphed with a 12-point gap to make it to the finals. Maxwell Agbagba has more.
Just play up, Santa Clausians. Play up and play the game. Give nothing but your best and never think of rest. Play up for the school's great name. And that is what the contestants from Adisco College did this evening right here on stage. Are you going to win the trophy?
The same way we came from quarterfinals to semi-finals. We use the same way to qualify to the finals. And that's on the same thing we are going to do on the grand finale. Don't expect much. Expect a damn ball.
The wonders today is going to happen. Adisco is going to lift the trophy.
We are not going to rank, we are not going to chat. But on the G-Day, we are going to ride on the zebras back to Cape Coast, Santa La.
Well, with Prempeh College determined to win a 6th trophy to equal the number of times Presec Legon has won it, and Presec also hoping to extend their lead to 7, some NSMQ fans say a disco could be the dog in the manger to ruin it for the two schools.
The 2022 National Science and Maths Quiz is produced by Primetime Limited and is sponsored by the Ghana Education Service in partnership with APSA Ghana and supported by Goyle, Prudential Life Insurance, Airtel Tigo. The broadcast of the National Science and Maths Quiz on Joy News is supported by Virtual InfoSec Africa, Virtual Security Africa, Vitamilk, Cowbell, Alumni by Enterprise Life, Fatex Toilet Roll, Ace Medical Insurance, Azar Group, Kings Group Limited, Family Health Medical School, DBS, ZNZ, the Basto School, Koba, and Lumitrust.
Smarts App and NASCO are part of our broadcast sponsors, and that's how we end this edition of Joy News at 6 with me, Bernice Abubedu Lansa. Thanks for your company. Do log on to myjoyonline.com for more news. The Super Morning Show continues.